Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my post-combine NFL mock draft. Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't done it already, there's a button right around here. See it, see it, see it. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Here's how this works. For picks 1 through 32 of the NFL draft, I'm going to do 32 separate videos, starting with pick number 1, ending with pick 32. Now, there are 4 teams currently that do not have a pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL draft. I'm going to wait until after I do those first 32 videos. Then I'm going to do a video for all of those teams that don't have a pick in the first round, giving a prediction on what they'll do with their first pick in the NFL draft. This is the first video. This is the first pick. Cincinnati Bengals, you're on the clock. Now, before I break down the first pick in the 2020 NFL draft, why should you listen to me? Well, first reason you should listen to me is because I don't follow anything else. All right, I'm not a basketball fan. I'm not a baseball fan. I'm not a hockey fan. I'm not a bowling fan. It's only football. 365 days out of the year, I follow football 366 for this year because it's a leap year. And second, if you're a follower of Andrews Football and you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth, you already know this, but I'm going to put some of the links in the description below here. I consistently make money betting on the National Football League. If you are a sports bettor, follow this channel because I will make you some motherfucking money this year. Now with the Cincinnati Bengals, and if I had the first pick in the 2020 NFL draft, I would select Chase Young, the defensive end out of Ohio State. And let me tell you why. He is the #1 player on my board. Not only is he the #1 player on my board, if you asked 32 NFL general managers who the best player in the draft is, I guarantee you a minimum of 28 will tell you Chase Young. If you ask every NFL draft expert, they will tell you the best player in the draft is Chase Young. This is almost a universal truth. This isn't just my opinion. I like Chase Young, but everybody likes Chase Young. This is easily the best player in the draft. This is easily the best pass rusher in the draft. And take the best player in the draft. That's what I would do. Second reason I would take Chase Young is that he's a perfect fit for this defense. You could put him opposite Carlos Dunlap, who by the way, is 31. This is his 11th year with the Cincinnati Bengals. He's getting a little long in the tooth, even though he did have a good season last year. Can you count on the guy to be more productive in the upcoming future? Probably not, because more than likely his best days are behind him. You have Sam Hubbard on the other side, another Ohio State Buckeye, a former teammate of Chase Young, and you got Carl Lawson. Both those guys are good young players, but none of them are really game changers. None of those guys are guys that you have to watch out for if you're an opposing team. You're not going into a game against Cincinnati Bengals and going, oh, we have to double team Hubbard or double team Lawson. You don't have that type of pass rusher available, but you put Chase Young into this team, day one, you instantly become a better defense. And think about this. Third and long, you got Geno Atkins, all right? Carlos Dunlap, either Hubbard or Lawson, and Chase Young. That's a scary defensive line for any NFL team. That's a frightening defensive line. And bottom line, in the NFL, you can never have you can never have enough good pass rushers is what I'm trying to say. I'm so choked up. I'm so emotional because I would definitely take Chase Young with this pick. And here's a third reason is that, let's say you want a quarterback. You're not happy with the quarterback situation. A lot of people believe that Cincinnati Bengals are going to take a quarterback in the draft. But drafting a quarterback is the ultimate crapshoot. It's a bigger crapshoot than any other player in the NFL draft. You never know what you're going to get from a quarterback coming out of college. It doesn't matter how well they played in college. It's always a crapshoot of coming into the NFL. Bottom line, you never know what you're going to get. Unlike Chase Young, you can almost guarantee that this is going to be a solid double-digit sack guy right away. You have no idea of what you're going to get from anybody that you draft at the quarterback position coming out of college. That's always been the way it's been in the NFL. And fourth and final reason why I would take Chase Young with the first pick, if you do need a quarterback, look at free agency. I've never seen as many good quarterbacks available in free agency as I have in this offseason. Tom freaking Brady is available, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, I don't think Tom Brady would go to Cincinnati, but he is a free agent and he is available. You also have Phillip Rivers, who's going to end up in Canton someday. He's available. Now, the player who I would target would be Teddy Bridgewater. Now, Zach Taylor came from the Rams. And if you watch the Rams and the Bengals, there's a lot of similarities between the two offenses. And it looks like Cincinnati's trying to run a similar offense that you would run that he ran in LA. And the quarterback who reminds me a lot of Jared Goff is Teddy Bridgewater. Both of them are very similar skill sets, both of them similar builds. I think they're very similar players. I don't like really comparing one player to another, but Teddy Bridgewater has a lot of same characteristics that Jared Goff has. If you want to draft a Jared Goff clone, the closest thing you could get is Teddy Bridgewater, who's a proven NFL player. You could go ahead and pay him a lot of money, draft Chase Young, you instantly improve your defense, plus you get a quarterback who fits exactly what you want to do. Another thing, you can trade for Josh Rosen. This is a player who was a 10th overall pick in the draft just a few years ago. He was traded to Miami for a late second round pick. You may be able to get him for a 4th round draft pick this year. What about Ryan Tannehill or Marcus Mariota? Both those guys are going to be available. So bottom line, if you need a quarterback, this is the year to get one in free agency. So many good ones are available. So recap why I would take Chase Young in this draft. Number one, he's the best player available. This is a universal truth among all NFL executive, all NFL draft experts. Almost everybody will tell you that Chase Young is the best player in the draft. Number two, he fits in perfectly on this defense. He comes in, he's a day one starter, instantly improves your defense. You can get very creative in that defensive front. The same defense, it's not really the same because it's college defense, but basically he would line up at defensive end, do almost the same thing that he did in college and just wreak havoc. It's a perfect scheme fit for a player. A lot of times you get a player that you draft into the NFL and you're asking him to do something different. This isn't the case. He would do the same thing they did at Ohio State with the Cincinnati Bengals. Number three, quarterback is an absolute crapshoot. You never know how a quarterback's going to transfer from college to pro. Out of all the positions in the NFL draft, quarterback is the ultimate crapshoot. And fourth and final reason why I would take Chase Young is that there are too many good free agent quarterbacks available this season. I've never seen this many good free agent quarterbacks available. Get somebody who's a good fit. I think Teddy Bridgewater would fit into this offense perfectly. You draft Chase Young, you improve your defense. Give Teddy Bridgewater a lot of money and you instantly improve your offense and you're ready to compete in the AFC North. Now, I firmly believe the Cincinnati Bengals will not select Chase Young. With the first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals will select Joe Burrow, quarterback out of LSU. Now, I firmly believe that if you pulled all 32 coaches, honestly, and all 32 general managers, and you took a poll between all those people, not everybody's going to think that Joe Burrow is the number one quarterback in this draft. I think different teams would want different quarterbacks depending on how they operate their offense and what they're looking for in a quarterback. But I definitely believe that the Cincinnati Bengals have Joe Burrow as their number one ranked quarterback. As I stated before, they want to do a lot of the same things that you see in Los Angeles. And the best comparison the Jared Goff in this draft, it is Joe Burrow. There's a lot of similarities between the two. The things that I really like about Joe Burrow is I love his accuracy and I love his pocket presence. Look at the 2019 film. The 2019 season by Joe Burrow could be considered the greatest college season of any quarterback of all time. Watch him go against watch him go against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Basically, you're looking at an NFL defense right there. He just shredded them. Look at his game film in the college football playoffs against both Oklahoma and Clemson. He just put up astronomical numbers, especially that game against Oklahoma. It was a video game type statistics he had. Now, the number one thing, though, that I really like about Joe Burrow is that every coach, opposing coach, and his own coaches, scouts, teammates and opponents, they all say the same exact thing. They all talk about how much they love his leadership and how much they love his competitiveness. They even interviewed Chase Young on a podcast I listened to, and he had nothing but glowing things to say about his former teammate. And keep in mind that when you interview players, scouts, coaches, you know, they're practiced into what they're going to say, but specifically what not to say. But these aren't canned responses to how much they love Joe Burrow and how much of a competitor and how much of a leader he is. These aren't things that you have to say. These are things that was volunteered. So I really love what other people have to say about how much they like Joe Burrow. And I've also liked what I've seen of him off the field so far. Now, the arm talent is not Mahomes level. This is an elite arm talent, but the arm talent is very good. The film, like I said, is top notch. But another big reason, maybe not the biggest, but a big reason why the Cincinnati Bengals will select Joe Burrow with the first pick in the draft is last time they took a Heisman Trophy winner at number 1, that was Carson Palmer, and that worked out great. So to kind of summarize why the Cincinnati Bengals will take Joe Burrow, his accuracy, his pocket presence are both top-notch, very similar to that of Jared Goff. His 2019 season, quite possibly the greatest season of any college quarterback ever. You can argue that his season's the greatest of all time, and you can't absolutely argue against that. You really can't. Every report from every opponent, from opponents, teammates, scouts, coaches that coached him, coaches that coached against him, everybody says the same thing. They love everything about him. Great work ethic, great competitive drive. And the last time the Cincinnati Bengals took a quarterback at number 1 who won the Heisman Trophy, it was Carson Palmer, and that worked out fantastic. So that's why I believe the Cincinnati Bengals will select Joe Burrow with the first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Now, this is my opinion, but what is yours? Do you think that Bengals will take Joe Burrow with the first pick in the draft? What would you do if you were the Cincinnati Bengals? I gave you my opinion. I want to know what you think. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Tomorrow, I will break down what Washington will do with the second pick in the draft, so I'll see you tomorrow.